And we are back. Hello and welcome to FDDF 2022. We are live and we're going to try something a little different for this afternoon pop-up session. I am going to introduce my colleague here from Grassroots Comedy DC who's going to be doing the interviews with our esteemed participants. Do you want to talk a little bit about your character and what we are hoping to do here with your interviews?
Thank you. My name is Anachronista Quaint. I was cleaning in a wizard's laboratory and got sent into the future, and this will be a new experience for me because I just learned what technology was 5 minutes ago.
All right. Well, we are thrilled to see how this goes. We're going to invite our first guest to come on in. Manisha, come on in. Maisha, come on in. And I'm going to leave the mic with you.
Hello, my name is Anachronista, and what is your name?
Maisha. Nice to meet you.
Maisha, sorry, I just learned of the existence of a microphone 2 minutes ago. Maisha, who are you with and what is it that you do?
Thanks, Anachronista. My name is Maisha Alam. I'm Vice President at Foreign Policy, where I lead the research and advisory team of FP Analytics.
So, we're at a tech conference. Is there anything that you've seen that you think could have great potential as far as what you do and helping you to accomplish your goals?
At this particular conference? Well, I think one of the things that's wonderful, and I've just come from a great discussion hosted by Google about Google search and social impact, is you have people that work in the private sector, the public sector, nonprofit, who do a wide range of things and don't always necessarily get to be in the same room to brainstorm together, to ideate together, and most importantly, to think about solutions to real world problems that they're facing. And so I think there's great value in that, but also just learning about different technologies that are emerging, whether that's the use of AI for increasing humanitarian access or satellite data for all kinds of mapping, I think is really, really interesting and certainly helps inform our work that we do at FP Analytics.
Thank you. One final question. All of the things that I've seen here today basically just seem like witchcraft to me. But I'm trying to keep an open mind. It's not all inherently evil. It's something electricity and not evil spirits. Was there any talk today about things that could be worked on, like things that could be better, could be shored up as far as technology? I know that you talked about AI. There's issues with bias, for example. Was there anything brought up that you figure that we could do a little bit better with?
Thank you for that question. So I think I have a very different perspective and impression than yours, which is I think this is a place where there's a lot of people, really smart people, who are really good at what they do, trying to figure out how to also do good in the world, and there are opportunities to leverage public and private partnerships to that end. You know, one of the things that we're very focused on in our team is crisis response and crisis simulation and helping decision makers prepare for everything from cyber attacks on critical infrastructure to collision and the Kessler syndrome in space and outer space governance, figure out how to build their preparedness and build resilience into institutions and strategies that they leverage. And I think technology has a really important role for that, and I think the conversations that are happening today are demonstrative of where we can be going in the future. So.
Maisha, thank you so much, and I hope your local Lord blesses you with extra grain this harvest.
Thank you.
Once again, this is Anachronista Quaint, and like I said previously, I've just discovered the existence of technology 5 minutes ago. So I would like to know, what is your name and what is it that you do?
I'm Jonathan Donner, and I'm the Director of Research for Caribou Digital, which is a consultancy focused on building more inclusive digital economies.
That's very interesting. I've just learned about the existence of something called artificial intelligence, where I come from, we don't even have standard intelligence, is pretty scarce. Could you talk about the application? How it could help you, or maybe its drawbacks?
So artificial intelligence is one element, but then even more broadly in just economies and societies, it's going to be something that the whole world has to wrestle with. So there are a couple ways, I think, for the digital development community, the people here at this event need to be thinking about AI and its applications. Most important is probably working on the ethical application of AI in all our work and ethical approach to weaving it into economies. It's a big topic.
So I've just learned of the existence of ethics as a concept. Could you tell me, for example, what the opposite looks like? You want ethical representation. What does unethical representation, what does that look like? What is it that you are fighting against?
AI is really interesting that way, in that it only learns from what we show it and what we give it to start with. And so if, for example, you're not representing everybody or giving everybody an opportunity to be seen and reflected and built upon, then we accidentally, or sometimes even worse, intentionally end up putting some people aside and putting some perspectives and important issues aside. And the AI is not going to be able to help us build a more inclusive digital economy if, again, everybody's data and everybody's perspectives aren't represented.
So I'm from a quaint medieval village, but if I'm hearing you correctly, what you're saying is that artificial intelligence without a breadth of experience of its developers might have inherent biases that hinder it in the future.
I think that's part of it, and that's why conversations like the one we're having today are so good, right? Is that it's important that we're all kind of reflective on our own roles and our own biases, but it's also the data itself, and then between the data and the developers, there are all the instructions they give it, the code itself, the instructions that the AI uses. So there's a lot to unpack on kind of inclusion and AI. My group, Caribou Digital, has done a little bit of work and some evaluations in this space, but that's not the only thing we do. But wow, it is an important topic. I'm glad you're asking me about it.
Thank you so much. This has been very enlightening.
All right, thank you so much. We are going to have another character here. Sir, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for self-reliance. I'm on a journey, and I was hoping you could help me find it.
Well, that is incredible. You are really decked out. You have a lot of...
Well, it's a big journey. You know, it's a big journey, and the answer isn't obvious. I've been looking all over the place for this self-reliance. It's elusive, but I did have a tip that it might be here at this conference, or there might be some leads. So here I am.
A little agency called USAID that might be able to help you with your journey, but we'll see. To be continued. So I'm going to hand over the mic to my fellow journeyman here, and he's going to do some interviews with some remaining folks. Sana, you want to come on stage? We're going to swap out.
Hi, Sana. Welcome to the conference. So what brings you here today?
Well, I work for UNICEF's Venture Funds team, and I'm really here to speak about crypto and what we're doing at UNICEF with cryptocurrency.
Fantastic. Is there anything that you have learned so far today?
Well, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation, as well as a lot of interest in how different agencies, how international organizations, as well as the private sector, public sector are working and expanding their work in the space of blockchain and the space of frontier technologies, as well as crypto.
That's exciting. Anything that you are still eager to learn about that might be answered at this conference?
Well, yes, definitely. I'm very, very interested in some of the sessions on carbon credits. There's another one, I think, on feminism and AI, which sounds very good. I work with the Venture Fund team, and our focus really is to invest in frontier technology startups. But when we're doing that, we also look at ensuring that we're driving venture capital to countries as well as people who don't see enough such funding. And when I say that, it also means female entrepreneurs and women leaders and female founders.
So it sounds like you might actually have some good advice for me. I'm looking for self-reliance. I'm on a journey. What are some tips that you could provide me for finding it?
check out our funding page. We launch new calls for applications every 3 months. Okay. You can actually apply for funding if you have relevant startups. So one, go get a nice idea, work on the idea, build an MVP. Once you do that, apply for funding to the UNICEF Venture Fund.
Sounds like a lot of work for finding self-reliance, but yeah, maybe that's just what it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks.
For sure. Have a good day. Hello, how are you? What an entrance. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Matthew Hulse. I work with the World Bank on digital health things.
Digital health things. Love it. It's the right amount of broad, I think. I like it. My name is Chris. I am a journeyer looking for self-reliance. So maybe your digital health things could help me find it.
Yeah, I'm looking for that too, actually. I also hope that everybody who needs services in health can find, reliable, healthy lives through the delivery of better health services. I think that technology is almost required now to be able to find good healthcare or to deliver good healthcare, to make it reliable and commitment.
Yeah, you want to take that?
I can, sure.
Oh,
yeah. Gotcha. I think I can hear the voice from beyond also.
There you go.
Yeah. There's different kinds of reliance, I guess, if that's what it means. There's me as a person, participating in society in the health space. Do I have the confidence to go seek and find healthcare? Do I trust it? Can I use technology, particularly in the last few years where I was afraid to go outside sometimes, to use it? Then there's also the reliance of an enterprise, a health system, our public health agencies and governments to be can we be trusted to deliver healthcare? How do we do it more effectively and reliably? And no matter what it is, we're using technology now to do that, to manage finances, to order products, to give us data. So it's absolutely part of that journey. And I think that it's part of building some of the confidence to be reliant. That's kind of how I think about reliance in technology and healthcare. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, answers it enough. Here's another one. What is a specific technology that you are especially excited about? Maybe one that's been presented at this conference or otherwise.
That's really cool. Well, it sounds boring, but a technology that I think is really cool are actually electronic or digital medical records. And I'll tell you why. It seems really scary and busy because for the last 10 to 15 years, a lot of technology in healthcare has been about just data, mining and extracting data to manage the health system, to try to figure out where things are happening. And a big legacy of that is that it's actually just been really static and looking at the performance of a health system every month or the performance of the effectiveness of a vaccination campaign. And it's actually left individual people's experience in the health system behind. I think I live in the United States and I'm Canadian, and in those health systems we have pretty mature digital records that actually care about you as a patient, what's your history, and if it's a technology that's easy enough for your healthcare provider to use, your doctor, then they can actually deliver you better care or quality care. And sure, there's lots of data in that, but it's actually about serving you better healthcare. It's not feeding some beast over how many drugs are we prescribing and what's the effect. All of that matters to health system managers, but I think it's more important, particularly as we learned from the last few years of the pandemic and going forward, this focus on patients or clients of the health system and how the technology is actually serving people in the services that they're seeking. So a technology like medical records has been around a really long time, but I think there's kind of renewed interest because it's putting people at the center, and that's why it's kind of exciting to me, even though it's a boring technology. It's the promise and what it means for how we use technology in our lives. It's embodies.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that sounds very important. Yeah, maybe just work on figuring out how to make that sound sexier. Yeah, maybe some work to do there, but I think it's definitely important. Thank you very much, Matt. Really appreciate it.
Thanks
All
so
right,
much.
see you around.
Have a really wonderful day.
Yeah, thank you. You too. Hello, hi, welcome. What's your name?
My name is Amy Kokenauer.
Hi, Amy. My name is Chris Blackwood. I am on a journey looking for self-reliance. Might you have any leads for me?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Self-reliance is in data empowerment. You need to empower yourself around your own data.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that, please?
Absolutely. So I work for Cadasta Foundation. We are a nonprofit organization. We work in 45 countries around the world, and we have local partners on the ground, and our focus is on mapping, documenting, and securing land rights. Okay. And did you know that 70% of the land in developing economies is unregistered, which means that, let's say you're a smallholder farmer, and your family may have been farming that land for decades, maybe hundreds of years. You have no piece of paper or document that proves that that's your land. Yeah, it's a big issue.
That does sound like a gigantic issue. So it's important that folks like yourself are working on that. What brings you specifically to this conference today, and what is something that you're excited to be taking away from it?
Yeah, well, I came to this conference today because my organization works with Frontier Technologies, GIS technology, and we make that technology available and accessible to local communities who have been left out of land information systems and who do not have rights to their land. So we deploy that technology around the world in very low resource environments. So I like coming to this conference because I learn, I'm with a bunch of people who care about the topic, but also who have tons of experience in doing just that, which is deploying technology in the development context to try to have impact in these communities. And what I'm excited about is reconnecting with people after a couple of years. It's great to see everyone, but also like hearing what's on the minds of my colleagues. I think, as I said, data empowerment is something I'm really excited about. We have to get tools and data and resources in the hands of local actors because in the end, they need to own, manage, and control their own data.
Absolutely. Sounds like another handy thing on the journey to self-reliance. All right. Well, I think maybe we have time for one more question. I don't see anyone else. Is there any particular technology, any particular invention that has come up at this conference or otherwise that you're especially excited about and excited about in terms of your work?
So I'm excited about GIS technology because location and place is inherently important to people when it comes to livelihoods, when it comes to accessing finance, when it comes to raising their families, when it comes to growing crops, or just living your life, right? I mean, so GIS technologies are not necessarily new by any means. It's how we're deploying these technologies to really impact people on the ground. And in the case of land and resource rights, these kind of technologies really weren't very available to a lot of communities. And so what we're doing is we're making those available, we're training people, we're enabling them to use simple data collection, parcel collection, geospatial information tools, and then also to analyze and use their data for things that are important like land use planning or where they want to grow certain crops or things like that. So it's really important, and land rights is something that excites me, and the combination of technology and land rights is exactly where Cadasta sits.
Well, that sounds perfect, and sounds like I should probably invest in your technology. It might help me with my journey. Maybe I'll finally get there. Thank you. Very, very nice to meet you. Thanks for coming, and enjoy the rest of the day.
I'm sad I didn't get the eyebrows and the wig though.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, that would
sorry
have been
about
amusing,
that.
but I like this.
That
Good.
would have been amusing.
This
Yeah,
is
I was
very
like, should I take it off? Should I switch?
Have a
I don't
fun
know.
journey.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Good? Done?